be over on the Dire side. EG moving to the Radiant side. And we started off, as always, looking to see with the first two bans. Always up against no Tidehunter. We know some teams, they give respect ban, and that's to AdmiralBulldog, that lone druid. He has played so many games. He is considered to be the best lone druid in the entire of Europe, if not the world. And at this point, he is letting through. It is going to be Undying as well as Bounty Hunter being taken out. Batrider taken out by EternalLenvy, and now he's got the choice. Does he give Fear that TA, and does he also let that mag through?
That's exactly what EG want. They say, well, we're not going to let S4 get mag, but we're going to leave in the pool. Our NoTide are going to take probably the biggest risk of this tournament. Give away Magnetor to Evilgeniuses. It'd be a bit of a shock. The hero who's just been winning games left, right, and only losing one game the entire tournament, having won about 9 or 10 of them. It's a very open pool, though, especially with this Undying ban, leaving heroes like TA, Sven, which Seer had played countless times, in the pool. And then you've got Maelk series, the Chen and the Enigma, both still there. Definitely going to see him with one of those. A Wisp ban. Ooh. This is going to definitely open everything up. EG with first pick here. It's got to be Magnetor. If they don't leave it, S4 is definitely grabbing it. So I think EternalLenvy is trying to bait them into it, then has some kind of counter in mind. The biggest problem when you have Magnetor come up is actually the biggest stack, and it is going to be Magnus. So Magnus comes up for Fear. He's picking it up. Now we start looking at this way. Magnus gets picked up. Sven will normally follow the Magnus pick if it's available. So this is a must pick up for NoTide right now. And we find ourselves in a horrible position. So there's the Sven pickup. Jakiro normally to follow. At this point, he's to be the best supporter in the game. But you might say, well, do we look at different counters to Magnus? We've seen some teams, Empire tried it earlier today, earlier yesterday, trying the Tidehunter pick to go up against the Mag. Didn't really work, but in theory, it actually should have worked. And to a point, it did. It was that the Necrobulus, which didn't really follow through for them. But to have that big, tanky kind of guy, Anchor Smash and then Ravage, but he's actually going to pick up the Darkseer instead for no Tidehunter. Well, there's your hero for AdmiralBulldog. I think that's something which really hurt them last game, is that they didn't get his off-lane hero early enough in the draft, and then by the time they got to the second pick stage, either they'd all been taken or banned out by EG. So they're going to get that Darkseer for him in the offlane. Here he's slightly more comfortable with than the Beastmaster from last game. And now this opens up for EG. They've got the Magnus, generally Demon playing that in the offlane. Then you're looking at probably one of Maelk's hero, the Chen or the Enigma in these next couple of picks, and maybe a support option. Maybe the Jakiro, maybe something like the Rubik we've seen played. One of the heroes which Bdiz or Maelk is likely to get their hands on as a support. Yeah, Fear. What are we going to see from you, man? You got 2 picks to go, and of course, this is a kind of a dangerous time as well, because we know the way the bans were changed around a couple of months ago. You've only got 2 bans at the start. He starts with Enigma, so we get one of Maelk's signature heroes. We had it before, we're going to have it again, and Vengeful Spirit for Bdiz. And Bdiz, we saw him basically firing out the words over towards no Tidehunter, saying we're going to take this 2-0, basically. Nature's Prophet as well coming up for no Tidehunter. But that VS pickup, Bdiz all about controlling the map, but how do you control the map when you've got a hero that can TP anywhere on the map, be it fogged or not? Well, we'll have to see if it's going to be an aggressive ganking style Nature's Prophet, but if they've got that as well as the Darkseer, which sort of indicates one of them going into the jungle, unless we see something along the lines of what the Complexity used to run the Nature's Prophet as a solo mid. But to me, this looks like a jungle, either Nature's Prophet or Darks in the jungle, maybe even Nature's Prophet, because based on the last game, it was a much sort of greedier style of play where both teams look to have a jungle hero, farm up their supports in the jungle. Nature's Prophet, great for doing that. Yeah. Get the Midas, get the Ag Scepter, just get all these late game carry items. And, well, he can sort of contest what Enigma's going to be doing in the jungle. So, a useful pick for no Tidehunter, and there's no real heroes to roll over it. Nature's Prophet doesn't match up well against heroes like Sven, but against the Magnus, against heroes like Enigma, you can split push, you can really spread the map around and find a lot of space and help out your team there. Yeah, that they can. Maybe no Tidehunter's just trying to keep their options open for the bottom lane. Like, you're saying it could be Darkseer, it could be Nature's Prophet. We kind of know AdmiralBulldog as far as the 3 core heroes. Nature's Prophet is one of them, and that's the role that he likes to take, going on that bottom lane. Up against Mag, up against Enigma, up against VS, his normal pull won't work. So they are kind of forced to run the Darkseer down there. Even if they want to run Nature's Prophet on that bottom lane, the chances of him actually pulling that creep wave up to soak up a little bit of experience, it's very, very minimal, if not impossible, with those 2 supports which should be inside the jungle. And I also am waiting to see who's going to be playing in what lane, because you look at that bottom lane, it's like, if Darkseer is going to be down there, he's kind of hoping he's up against a melee carry. That's what he's kind of hoping. Fear,
Like, it's one of those things that he does like to take a big melee carry, give him the CK, give him whatever he wants down there. But where does Mag end up? This is one of those heroes that has basically been dominating every single game because he can be in every single lane. The only thing I don't believe he can do is jungle. He can offlane, he can solo mid, he can be on the safe lane if he so desires. Not really normal, but he could do it if he so desired. And this is just what comes for him. And now we see EternalLenvy bans out the TA, just wants control in the middle lane. And then Nate's looking towards Fear, and probably also Faceless Void coming up, which at this point is the only real other answer to the Sven, bar the Magnus lock-in, but that even then might not be enough to stop Sven.
Yeah, we'll have to see whether or not they're afraid of those hard carries. Life's a little more a carry who can have a strong early to mid-game presence. Faceless Void, I feel, it's another big AoE combo to put with the Enigma, with the Magnus, but it's something which NoTide can punish. And the way I'm actually thinking about this, EternalLenvy sort of talked about running Darkseer as a solo mid hero, something that S4 has been playing, trying to punish some of the aggressive mid play, something from that Scandal has shown in the mid lane. They said, we've been using Darkseer solo mid against this, so maybe that's where they looked ahead with this. You then have AdmiralBulldog with the offlane Nature's Prophet. It's a way that they can run this draft to make it work, and they do need something to cancel the Black Hole. I feel that's really the one thing they're missing right now. Have some kind of ultimate which can go through a BKB Enigma Black Hole, otherwise late game they could be in some trouble.
Well, there's no reason why they also can't run the Beastmaster in the bottom. If you're going to run the Darkseer on the middle lane, Prophet can still go in the jungle, give one good support hero to Sven. Obviously the big ones he probably wanted, like Rubik as well as Jakiro, they just got banned out by Fear, so they're no longer options. But the Chen also being taken out, no Tidehunter. If they want to try a jungler, it's got to be Prophet or it's got to be Darkseer. They can't, well, it could go with the Enigma, but not going to happen. I'm really happy to see Jeyo playing Invoker again, so we get our answer to our solo mid right now.
This is standard EG. They're going to have the Jeyo Invoker at mid lane, Demon playing that off lane Magnus, one of his sort of couple of core heroes is Magnus, his Batrider, and it's going to be a Vengeful Spirit duel, and they haven't picked up Fear's carry hero yet. That's going to be their last pick. They're really saving it till last to be played in that farming role.
Where's Lone Druid?
Lone Druid hasn't been picked up, but I don't see, it doesn't really fit. I think it's a hero that no Tidehunter decide just will not really fit too well with the draft they've got so far. They've got a strategy in mind, and they weren't really expecting to really be able to fit the Lone Druid in, and I think it's something which EG can really punish. They get the Leshrac for now. This is your support hero to combo with the Sven, has some pushing power, and that's really something which no Tidehunter can use if they get off to a good early start. That snowball effect can start coming in. You've got Nature's Prophet to TP around push lanes, Leshrac, Edict, and just the aggressive power of a Sven. The team fight mech type build that you can see from a Darkseer. This is a strong composition that no Tidehunter have put together.
Yeah, if you actually look at the lineup of no Tidehunter, if you remove out the Sven and you go back almost a year inside the world of Dota 2, nice Juggernaut pickup. So there's our melee hero for Fear. If you go back almost a year in Dota 2, Darkseer, Nature's Prophet, Leshrac, these were your core pickups. Darkseer always just easily able to farm that off lane, and when Nature's Prophet and Leshrac, they would team up with a hero like a Chen or an Enchantress or anyone who had any kind of extra pushing power, Necrolite even, and just over-push the towers and just never be able to stop it. And you look through the lineup of EG, and this does force Mag onto the offlane. Shockwave is their only real counter-push we're looking at coming out. So it's going to be Demon more than likely going on towards that Mag. What happens when Leshrac and Nature's Prophet, they team up? We get a high points up in a couple of points of Edict. If we have any kind of pressure coming out from the jungle, what happens then? And how does EG rotate their lanes to try and deal with this? Enigma and VS, not the most maneuverable of heroes. It's the reason why we normally see that Blink Dagger up on Enigma. Or do they just say, you know what, Mag, you're maneuverable enough for me. Just get your Blink Dagger, secure them back to me. It's only halfway across the map, and you're good to go.
It's definitely a possibility, just getting that Magnus as the initiator. And another possibility, which EG have to be worried about, is Wacom actually talked about a lot of these teams playing very greedy, picking up Enigma and Chen early on the draft. You should be running these offensive trail lanes against that. That's something which no Titan can do if they want to put the Leshrac Sven, get another support, take it to the VS Jug lane. That's just two heroes who won't really be getting much support from an Enigma who has to spend all his early game farming away in the jungle. So they can punish that. They can have the Darkseer mid, Nature's Prophet in the safe lane. And the beauty of this is Nature's Prophet can TP in, bring 4 heroes bottom at this, basically in a split second, get some kills, get a tower. If Enigma comes in as backup, and that with a Shadow Demon pick, that could well be how no Titan want to play this. This trailing of theirs is really scary, and I think they're going to be looking to put that down in the bottom lane up against the VS Juggernaut lane. Yeah, this is going to be absolutely brutal if it's executed correctly. Of course, we know tri lanes, they're one of these fun little things that sometimes they can go horribly, horribly wrong, and you've got to decide when to pull out before it's done you too much damage that you're out of the competition. With no Tidehunter, this tri lane, it has to work. It has to work. If it doesn't, they're then eliminated, and
your grand finalists, your winners of the 100,000 SEK. Of course, big thanks to Corsair as well for sponsoring this one. That will all go to the winner, which would be the Americans, the Evilgenius boys. They were here last DreamHack. They found themselves being knocked out very early on. It was a different roster. They're a lot stronger. They're the guys that knocked out Na'Vi. They're the guy, and then again Na'Vi. It seems DreamHack is just their kryptonite. Knocked out in the last grand final against MTW, and now the no-name team, No Tidehunter, they're coming up. So let's get ourselves into the game, man, because we're going to roll ourselves out, and we are going to be looking to see who gets to be the first initiator, who wants to go where, and who really wants to see if it is predictable, if it's like the tri-lanes we're talking about, or if they want to go something unusual.
Absolutely. There's plenty of options for both teams. For EG, I think it's much more straightforward. The off-lane mag, the Invoker going down towards mid lane, Maelk going to be playing in the jungle. He has got those 4 clarities, and then the strong dual lane. They've got the VS of Bdiz, generally comboed with Fear, and it looks like for now, EG, they're rotating towards bottom lane. They're looking to try find, at least get some control over their own jungle.
Yeah, and that's always one of these things. If you're going to be running yourself something like an Enigma, you want to be getting those wards out, making sure that there's no wards blocking all your camps. If you're looking to pull, if you're looking to do anything else, you've got to keep your eyes open for that one. And,
wow.
AdmiralBulldog given a freebie.
And here we go. Game is on.
The
bait is laying.
There's a small blood patch where AdmiralBulldog
used
to be. And it is. It is actually a trap because they came to check for it. Now the stun. It goes out on Maelk. They're going to bring it down. Oh, my James! Now on the Bdiz. The Swedes, they pull something out of the bag. And Bdiz is going to go down as well. Oh,
no, Tidehunter! What a start. What a strategy coming out from EternalLenvy. The Prophet bait. He doesn't loot any gold, anything, by suiciding to Roshan. It's a pure bait. He spent all his gold on starting items. And no Tidehunter, just come right out, get 2 kills right off the bat.
No one has ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Dota.
These boys, the boys nobody had actually heard of a couple months ago, are setting new ways. They are getting the crowd on their feet. They are looking to take it to EG in a must-win game number 2. And the lanes are now starting to sell. It's going to be AdmiralBulldog up in that safe lane. He's going to find himself up against the tri-lane. EG avoid the offensive tri-lane. They mix up their lanes. Try avoid the pressure at this bottom lane. Demon going to have to be playing so safe up against this scary-looking tri-lane.
Yeah, this is brutal, and Demon thought he might have been down here all by himself up against the Darkseer, but it was not to be. And this tri-lane already with a kill, they're sitting at all half a level apiece. And this is being one for the highlight reels as far as the ultimate mind game. StarCraft 2 thought they played with their minds. Dota 2 schooling the whole of esports.
It's absolutely incredible. EG using some, by sending this trial on top, it's mind games of their own. They wouldn't have done this if they're expecting no Tidehunter to have 3 heroes up there. It's really to make sure that Maelk doesn't get pressured in the jungle, and then that the dual lane can have a decent time. They're actually going to be looking to go maybe fairly early on for an aggressive gank here. AdmiralBulldog probably needs to TP out. Nope, they're not going to go in. And it's the supports from no Tidehunter rotating towards mid lane. They know there's no point staying bottom, but they can definitely try and get a kill on Jeyo.
Yeah, this is just one of those times when I'm... Oh, really? really? Just as aggressive as you possibly can be. And we're seeing now EG add pressure towards the T1 tower on the top lane, and they've basically diffused that out. And the same thing is now being done by AdmiralBulldog. He's trying to pull the creep wave down, and this now means EG, doesn't matter. They're going to keep on top of that tower. That's fine for them because they're going to push it down. That's even less nicer for Nature's Prophet. Lose a T1 tower very early on, and EG got to dive a long way in. Radiant Structure's going to fortify up, making this not as easy to do. There's no point in eating for Leshrac, so he cannot help bring down this tower nice and quickly. And EG, they are just working their way through this tower. Yeah. There's no chip, and this is slashing.
But this is the solo mid Darkseer, which can just take out the creep waves, and just bit by bit, they'll get this mid Tier 1 tower. Unless EG rotate heroes in, EG already with a very fast Tier 1 tower at top. Are they going to come mid? Are they going to try help out the Invoker, Jeyo, who is going to struggle to defend this push?
Yeah, it's all about the trades, man. It's all about the trades. You lose one Tier 1 tower, you've got to gain a Tier 1 tower back again. That is just the way Dota works. And in this scenario, no Tidehunter, they're trying to force something. They're really trying to force something here in the mid. But again, smart play by Jeyo. He's being very defensive, pull the creep wave back. He doesn't mind this tower goes down because at this point, his team's got the good trade. Fear's finding levels up on the top lane. It's not coming with any opposition. Maelk is still pushing out nice army conversions for him. Bdiz always that great supporter to hang around just in case times are tough. and that is just the way to play. Into the tier 2 tower, AdmiralBulldog, he can pull the creep wave, but that's all. He can't stop this tower from going down. He's actually even trying to keep the trees on the front lines. Now the creep wave finally pulls in, and he'll fight behind the tower. That's what's going to work for him.
Yeah, pushing down this second tower is going to be a struggle for EG, and they're going to find this mid tier 1 tower possibly under some aggression fairly soon as well. Oh no, support's actually rotating bottom. No Titan. They want to go on Demon. Getting this kill would be very, very important for them.
Yeah, shutting down that mag. We know how powerful he can be. He's already managed to get himself at level 4.5. And well, EternalLenvy gives him a bit of a catch and then pulls the creep wave up. So if he wants to, they can bring down this tower. Already letting off the war cry, bump him up, make him a little bit harder. Unfortunately, that siege catapult as well as the rest of the creep wave has pulled the aggro. And EternalLenvy, all this damage he is taking, it's not really coming to much damage on the tower, and that's where NoTide need that trade. They need to bring down the life points of this tower to make everything basically balance out on the map.
Yeah, and EG, they're really wanting to take it to NoTide and punish this weak top lane Nature's Prophet. And this is something I don't think NoTide were prepared for. They were expecting the off-lane Magnus, and it isn't coming their way. EG are going to find a tier 2 tower just 4 minutes into this game, and this is really going to help some of these heroes get up some fast early game items, and that's going to cause NoTide a couple problems around this map.
Yeah, This is an amazing, amazing start for EG. Already 2 towers down. You get a large chunk of gold for every tower that goes down. Not a single one being denied. Bulldog, he might have thought about it, but if he even thinks about coming in close to right-click, then he's gone, and he knows it too. And this is forcing Tidehunter. They have to make a change. This top lane is either that or they try and play this black mouse sports kind of style. And that's in this top lane, you stick here, and the creep wave never goes any further. And you can control the lane enough to do that. The problem is if EG plant themselves inside the jungle, and that's exactly what's now going to come out. NoTide saw it coming. Leshrac's done perfect, already with the catcher, and Maelk being brought down. NoTide wish to reclaim their jungle.
Yeah, farm up some Eidolons as well. Good gold, good XP going the way of NoTide. They're claiming back this top lane. That's going to force Maelk back to his own jungle. EG, their time at top lane's done. Juggernaut probably just going to leave, try find somewhere else to actually try and farm. He is still at top. He has got phase boot, but the problem with this having 3 heroes top is that he's only level 4 until he gets at level 6 ult, when he can't really look for more kills, look to stay at this top lane. It's just going to be a case where NoTide, they keep the lane equilibrium, they keep it back, and they really limit EG's ability to find farm at this top lane.
Yeah, this is now a big problematic thing for EG. And almost to the point where it's you've got to rotate back into your own jungle. This is where things kind of go a little bit back to normal. S4 is getting too much advantage in the middle lane, so something has to be done about this. The mid pool has to start up. He's already really out CSing Jeyo, and that's not something that should ever happen. Loda, he's also got amazing farm for that bottom lane, and up against the mag, we know Demon hasn't really managed to hit anything up really high, and with that kind of thing happening, you've got to be concerned. You've got to look somewhere else. Also, another rotation out. We've actually seen Bulldog show himself down there on the bottom lane, saying hello down there to Demon, and that, of course, means we're looking at swap-ups, looking at change-ups, and everyone's got to be on their toes.
Yeah, the wards in the jungle, they're trying to spot some of these heroes. Bdiz will be the target. Fear, much harder to kill, can dodge the Stormbot with that stun, and well, they see it coming.
The time, Bdiz, he's now going to get done. That's a big catcher, already up with the disruption, gets a stun out and Loda, so there's no big damage until the Stormbot comes out, and Bdiz, right-click, and he gives it to the Shadow Demon.
4 kills to 1. No Tidehunter finding action around the map. They've lost these towers, which is giving EG a slight edge as far as gold goes, but both farm as well as kills are in the favor of No Tidehunter. So I feel this has been a decent trade for them. I mean, they've got Bulldog already up to level 5. Their core heroes are getting farm, getting levels. Darksy's about to hit level 7, and he's well on top of the farm boards.
And Darkseid is one of these heroes that he loves those extra levels. In fact, without it, you don't have that huge control during the team fight. And if you can rush these levels up, you get the 4 in the Iron Shell, you get the 4 in the Vac, the 2 in the Surge, and then finally, when you pop that wonderful level 14, you've got yourself the double wall, and that's when the magic really begins for the Darkseid. That's when the fights happen for EG. If they all get backed up, doesn't matter if Mag thinks he's got the control of that one, you throw down the wall, you manage to get yourself a copy of that Juggernaut, you get a copy of the Mag himself, and then you just basically go to town on the entire EG side, and that's when you also combine up the Vac suck in, you got the Leshrac stun, you got the Edict damage, you got the Pulse, you got Sven, not only with his AoE stun, but then with the Cleave that follows up from that. So if EG is pulled in it all into one big area, it is basically sealing their death. And that is something which they can never go for. It's got to come through a split push and try and stop that. But then again, you're going up against AdmiralBulldog on Nature's Prophet. How are you supposed to win the split push game?
Oh yeah, the split push game heavily favors No Tide, and the Sven as well. It's a strong split pusher, hard to catch out. Once he has that BKB, he can just use that to TP home, and Well, for now, NoTide, a lot of lane switches coming from them. Really interesting how Darkseid gets the nice early start mid lane, gets the free wave, and then as soon as he gets these levels, he goes to the jungle, gives mid lane to Akke on the support Leshrac, gives him time to get some arcane boots, some items, some levels, and with that, come mid-game time, NoTide will be much more prepared for these big team fights, and that's something where EG excel. They've got the Magnus to set up those team fights with the skewer, followed by a reverse polarity, the Enigma black hole from Maelk. It's got to be an item advantage going the way of Tidehunter, otherwise they can't send up against that AoE combo.
Yeah, you were definitely right, man, and they have got to keep this advantage if possible. And, well, man, Jeyo, he's having a fantastic time in that middle lane. Look at his items already coming up. We've already got that stuff Wizardry up. 4 stuff shan't be too far away, and that's when all hell's going to break loose. When you've got such a high maneuverable Invoker on the field, you've got to stop this farm, and you've got to shut him down, and that means you've got to find some initiation, but it's hard when you can see Maelk babysitting him in the middle lane. You can have that Maleficent up your sleeve if you need to, and Enigma, level 6, and that means Black Hole is on the field.
Yeah, Maelk is going to maybe look to try to position himself to get some useful counter ganks. He's already got TPs up, 2 in fact, so he's going to be trying to find openings where if NoTide get too aggressive, if they look to gank the lane with this aggressive combo of theirs, have the Nature's proper TP in, they're ready to see Enigma get in there and help out his team. It's going to be hard for NoTide to find these kills. Maybe they just go for towers instead. They've got this strong pushing power of the Leshrac, the Nature's Prophet as well. Leshrac has 3 in the Edict. It's going to be the top lane, the tier 1 tower under siege.
Yeah, this is the second time now they're going to go on the siege. We saw Lodaberg even throwing at the Stormbolt just so we can clean off the creep wave as fast as possible. And that's just so this tower goes down. But then again, Mag running in, TP support, skewer. It doesn't unload it, but there goes the already pulling it back in again, and Big Fear ultimate and the shockwave to follow it up. It is impossible to run away from a Magnus, especially when the reverse polarity is going to pull you back in and stamp you to the deck.
1200 range on skewer is just, and like you say, impossible to dodge. Absolutely correct. And Akke makes a smart decision. Doesn't even turn to drop a stun on Demon. He knows if he turns and drops a stun, that could be his death as well. And it was regardless. Loda was going to go down.
Yep.
And Akke makes a smart decision just to get out of their mid lane, though. S4 going to find himself actually under a bit of pressure here.
Yeah, but he's got so much farm anyway. He's walking around with Tranquil Boots, Bottle of Magic Wand. If you've seen him now, like his CS is the highest on the board. The next 3, of course, do belong to EG. But it's all coming the way of S4. Big items are coming from him. Might even see that very early Aghanim Scepter. And then EG find themselves in a lot more trouble, or maybe not. Back to start with Shockwave. Going to go through 2 of them, in fact. S4 being cold stepped and being Maleficent stunned up maybe as well. And they can't find the opening. There goes your skewer. Disruption, try and save him up. Look for that stun, but that Demon melting to this Edict damage. Just completely disintegrated. Diving, they do bring down that tier 1 tower. Invoker getting AdmiralBulldog. Jeyo! Quick jump. Very quick jump into the invis, making it impossible for AdmiralBulldog to get also that quick sprout.
Fast fingers, he gets invis just in time. He also walks away with the tier 1 tower. He gets the gold for that. So Jeyo going to have enough gold for this 4 stuff now, and what a big pickup that's going to be. We're going to see EG looking to back off, play a more sort of farm-based game. They have to let these towers go. The Leshrac, the Prophet just have too much pushing potential, and that's something EG can't fight right now. They need more items on Fear. They need the levels coming out of him. Maybe even something like a level 2 ultimate. Maelk's mech still a couple hundred gold away, and without this, EG have to wait.
Yeah, that they do, and of course, we want to say hello to all those people who are tuning in free on Dota TV, where we now have the audio streaming out in that one. As we have gone from our normal setup, we were, of course, a big thanks as well to the Good Studio for hosting that little sucker up, and we get ourselves into this amazing game. We're 11 minutes in. While you might not be seeing kills, this is just a game of a lot of decisions. Do you go, where is a trade, where is your farm, and when is your time to strike? Also, the times when you don't see a lot of kills, a lot of it comes down to just amazing play. Like top lane, as you were saying, Leshrac had to fall back. If you did so, you lose 2, and there's no reason to lose 2. It's the reason why this is a Valve game. It's called Left 4 Dead, except Dota 2 style.
Well, and you mean, you talk about the individual plays. Something we saw last game in game number 1 with Demon was on that Batrider, bringing Sven up onto cliffs, and he's been known to use these sort of flashy plays on Magnus as well. You can actually skewer heroes on top of cliffs, leave them up there, and Sven's a hero once stuck somewhere, he can't get back down unless he TPs out or one of his teammates is a 4 stuff. So something to expect out of Demon. These kind of plays, but no Tidehunter, much more standard. They're looking to smoke up, looking to try to take the fight to EG. They've got the aggressive early game lineup, and they are really trying to get aggressive.
Envy, opening is there. Maelk disrupted, already now being captured, and that is an easy damage. Not to mention the conversion. Shockwave coming up. It looks like EG, they want to go in reverse polarity. Catching down 2. Jeyo's here as well. Skewer him back down again. S4, he's going to to take a ball. That's a big, big kill, and double kill coming the way of the agility carry Fear.
The fast blink dagger from Demon, catching NoTide by surprise. They didn't know he had it. He used to set things up there. The Skewer alone would have maybe only caught one in the reverse polarity. The blink dagger gets him in the perfect position. Fear is there to follow it up, and now EG, they're going to march down this bottom lane. They want this tier 1 tower. Fear's got this fast Yasha. He's going for cheap, cost-effective items. Going to really make it possible for him to have an early game influence, which is what you need against a very heavy push, heavy early game centric NoTide Hunter lineup.
Yeah, this is really a time when NoTide have to decide what they're really going to do. They've got something they really want to protect on that bottom lane, and losing the tier 1 tower is not going to help him out. So Shadow Demon starts off with a poison. He wants Fear. TP's already come to tier 2. Got the disruption. Starts off. Maybe it's going to be enough. Leshrac's done and Sven's done. Forced out of the way, but it's not enough. They bring down that big damage dealer. Loda pulls him back in. God's strength. 2 lined up. Bdiz already gone. Now moving into Jeyo. EMP will burn pretty hard, but they are right behind him. Surge is available. Maybe disruption. Does he want Iron Shell damage? Jeyo, he needs to invoke. 4 more seconds. 1 more second on that 4 stuff. He needs the extra space and up onto the hill and away. And Demon's like, I got you back, bro.
Well, NoTide to find a couple more kills, finding these openings really well here, and the TP support has just been spot on from them. Nature's Prophet even coming in. Bulldog's almost finished off his Midas with that, and with that, NoTide can transition into a game where they take it more late game, get more farm. Both Nature's Prophet and Sven will scale well the longer this game goes, and Sven Loda, 2.7k gold. He's got his BKB in just a couple hundred gold, although he may sort of go back, get something like the drums, get something like the armlet before finishing off that BKB. Either way, he is really up there. As far as net worth goes, Darkseer and Sven have just been playing a sensational game. S4 as far as solo mid players go, he has been the most sensational in this entire tournament, possibly a tournament MVP candidate at this point.
Yeah, if you're going to give MVPs out S4, definitely for the middle lane, we even throw Phonic to the off lane, and Bdiz, I almost want to throw him as far as one of the best supports in the game, just because he is one of those guys that does it for the team. He gets the vision, he looks for it out. One thing they might not see is currently what we're looking at, and that is a lot of farm. That is full BKB, and this is also going to be going through the rest of the creeps and giving every bit of cash. And of course, at early mech, that was up by 11 minutes, and they just clean up that camp. But this is also what we see NoTide doing amazingly effectively. They're always looking for their stack, and they look for that big bump up in the golden experience.
Yeah, and you can really see they're much more composed this game. Game 1, they were doing these stacks, they were trying to farm it out. But Sven, he was struggling with it. He didn't quite have the damage to do it. This time, they're well prepared, they easily handle it.
I want to give a big shout out to that guy out there that obviously loves the biggest change in experience graph, man. Must be a puppy fan. And man, bottom lane, Envy. Now he's trying to do what he, like, any kind of intelligence they can get on where EG is moving, they need it. And while you might not be able to see everything, you are going to see it in a couple of moments' time. Already Jeyo showing himself down there on that bottom lane, as well as the rest of the crew. They're going to force that tier 1 tower down, and all 5 heroes, welcome to 5-man Dota from EG. If all else fails, group up as 5 and just push, force the fight. But I'm looking at a level 11 Darkseer. This is not going to be a very simple fight. Prophet, in fact, says, well, if you're going to try and push out the towers, I'm going to give momentum towards the other lanes. We've got lanes to push. We've got tier 1 towers to kill off. Probably still got fortification up the sleeves. Actually, no, I don't have that one.
So much banking on Demon, and look at him. He's positioned himself in these trees, trying to find those openings, still staying in there. He's got both Blink and Skewer. So many positional spells, and NoTide have to be so immaculate with their positioning, making sure he can only catch maybe 2 heroes at most.
He only got 1. He only got Loda, trying to pull him back out, back into the team, but Loda, Black Hole cancelled instantly. Darkseer wall, and Loda mans up. Goes after Maelk, shooting around the trees, not going to be it. Double kill. Jeyo's on the run. There was a disruption hero too. Fear running back into the wall. Won't fight up against itself. Stormbolt, 1 second, but Fear so fast on the foot with those face boots. Still running away. Obviously, 2 Invoker goes away too. And Hallow, surprise! It is going to be Fear. Catch it first. So then the Stormbolt does the damage. 4 lost, and they hold the tier 2. And this is also a big opening. You know, with all these heroes down, Roshan is a feast waiting to be eaten.
4 kills, Roshan. Huge swing going the way of NoTide. And they've been playing. EternalLenvy is 4-0-8. He's been in all 12 of these kills for them. He has just been everywhere on the map, setting up kill after kill, and NoTide pull away. Farm going their way. They're going to try to claim Roshan as their prize for in this team fight. We're not the fastest Roshan, but if they can get this, it'll really give them a big boost going into this mid game, shutting down EG.
They've got this. There's no way to stop them. Black Hole's on cooldown. Mag already used his big ultimate, and that was the biggest fail. This is the only time we generally see Mags lose. Normally it's by doing some crazy dive, but Demon, you can't blame him for that. That was great positioning from Tidehunter. They didn't put themselves in a position where Demon could just jump in and reverse polarity them all. He got himself in a better position, but better from Tidehunter. That's the way she rolls, man. And now Aegis the Immortal, given over to Tidehunter. More levels as well, and now we see a level 12 Darkseer. That's that 2 points on wall I was talking about.
Yeah, level 12 Darkseer, level 12 Sven with both BKB and Mask of Madness. We're only 18 minutes into this game. Loda has had a fantastic start. He started off in that offlane, and he's really catch up on farm using these ancient stats, and now Tidehunter can play so much more comfortably. Sure, there's a great Mag ultimate to turn around these fights, but when you've got these sort of items, Mag ulti alone isn't going to win you a battle.
Yeah, and you just start looking at the damage dealers. If you want to try and say, well, Mag ulti can win you the fight, Fear, he's only got 1 point in that Omni Slash. We got so minimal jumps and so minimal damage. Haven't seen that mana style done. It's just not possible. And when Sven starts getting this far ahead, as you said, BKB and Mask of Madness, if that Daedalus arrives within the next 5 to 10 minutes, and conversions will help, but no, they deny him. If he gets that Daedalus, if he gets that crit, we're going to see EG go down with one swipe. VS and Enigma, they can't deal with that kind of damage. Maelk might be lucky enough to get the mech off before he gets hit, but that's going to be it. It's the only way he can live. He won't be able to do that after, because we know what that crit does to heroes.
The problem for EG is they're going to be forced to play very safe. Stickers 5 a lot, and during that time, Tidehunter can just be farming around the map, getting up map control and really limiting what EG can do, which, I mean, as I said, they've got to stick together. They've got to Stickers 5 very soon because of how aggressive NoTide can play, especially with an Aegis on their side and this big level advantage that they've now maintained. And Darkseer's got another big item too, 2.7k gold on him, and with that, EG really have their backs pushed up against the wall.
Yeah, that they do. Well, it's going to be pushed even further. We've now got the minions who will be forming up for AdmiralBulldog. Not to mention, he is a level 11 Prophet, so we're adding a level 2 Darkseer wall, but we're also adding the huge burst damage that's going to be coming out from Bulldog when he pops off his ultimate, plus jumping in with the Necro units. And this is going to be causing so many issues for EG during the fights. And they've already got enough issues as it is, which is kind of surprising considering they're the guys with Mag and Enigma. It shouldn't be happening this way. But on the bright side for Juggernaut, we do have that empower. So once it gets leveled up a little bit more by Demon, Juggernaut will find himself with a lot more strength when it comes to these engagements. And that's something we've got to bear in mind.
Yeah, Juggernaut needs that. And I don't think we're going to see the Manta style being complete from PE. He's just got the Yasha, just for the movement speed, the attack speed, and some agility. But Manta style is not going to do anything against the cleave from Sven. He'll just chop those illusions down. And you mentioned the AoE damage from a Nature's Prophet ultimate. It's just not going to be a viable item here. We're looking more at sort of DPS and survivability type items coming his way. And for EG, it's really they're doing the same thing that NoTide were doing, stacking these ancients, trying to just farm the map, catch up as far as farm goes for Fear there. This is where he's going to get his gold from when you've got to stick together as 5.
Yeah, that you definitely, man, it's the only place he can, but he needs the support, and it's not an easy thing to do, because those Ancients, they really hurt hard. The healing what he's got is the only thing that's really allowing this to be possible, and in the meantime, all of NoTide, they disappear from the lane, so EG, they've got to know something is awry, but the question is, where the hell is NoTide? But NoTide also probably asking the same question. Sometimes it could just be both teams smoke hacking, trying to look at each other's jungles, and they completely walk in the opposite direction. Sometimes that's the case, not in this case. Now NoTide says, well, we can't find him. Let's take a tier 2 tower instead. We want to force this fight. We already feel strong enough as it is. Let's just nail the crap out of it and push.
Yeah, especially with Aegis. They've got it for another 2-3 minutes. They really want to make use of it. And that can be just at this bottom lane. Loda can be standing, positioning himself in the front, hit away at the town. There's no real risk for NoTide to lose a bad fight. Mag can't. Last fight, he caught just Sven in the ultimate, which in theory, they can still win the fight with that if they pull him back in, kill him fast enough. But that's not an option here. They have to catch multiple heroes in. EG aren't even going to try and contest this tier 2 top bottom. They need to try and push out these other lanes, can go for a bit of a split push, but yeah, EG just do not have the heroes to counter push with, whereas NoTide, they've got an incredibly fast pushing lineup with the Prophet, with the Leshrac.
NoTide didn't have to stop there. They can keep on going. They've still got the Aegis the Immortal, and they've got a time limit on that one. You've only got that for 6 minutes, and already you can see the Howler Terror revealing Sven out, looking for Fear on that bottom lane. He wants to go in, and even just for a moment, clicking that Storm Bolt, thinks about going in even further, and the Iron Shell, a little bit of cleave, I say little bit, he's already got the 4 points up in it. helps the damage out of the creep wave and tries to force EG to return towards their lanes. And Mag, Demon's the only one that doesn't want to do it. AdmiralBulldog's up here trying to defend that one. Jeyo is pulling up that top lane. He's having himself a great old time. And what else we got flying out? Really? Already a full one, and this is just reeking of S4's farm. It is so much. Yeah, Courier, turn around, man. He's going to make an item slot for you. Or is this actually... No, it is definitely for him. He threw over his TP scroll. That's a lot of farm on that Darkseer for 22 minutes.
Full mech and pipe, 22 minutes in. And it's not really. It's not just Darkseer. The Tower Gold, the Roshan Gold going there. NoTide has really just boosted up their mid-game prowess. Now you've got 2.2k gold on a Shadow Demon of all heroes. This is just crazy.
I love how Loda doesn't even care on that top lane. Tornado, EMP'd. I don't mind. I already bought my Crystallis. I've already got my cash done. I can just keep on farming on the top lane. What are you going to do? I just put Warcry, run away and get so much armor. There's no way even that anybody on EG would ever be able to solo him. Juggernaut, yeah, I'm including you too. Doesn't matter about your ult. Even if Sven takes the entire ultimate from Fear, he will not go down once he pops that Warcry and just feels like a boss.
Yeah, now it's going to be... I mean, it's... The damage coming out from these heroes, I mean, normally you pick Magnus, they boost up the damage coming out from a hero like Juggernaut. Juggernaut alone is trying to be that carry, but Warcry can negate so much of that. Having 16 armor to your entire team, EG, they've got to just hit a huge combo ulti with the Mag, with the Enigma to stand a chance at winning a team fight. And NoTide have just been so far splitting themselves in these team fights, not giving the openings for Demon to start these fights off, hit those reverse polarities. And EG, their only option then is to sit back and just spam Tornado EMPs all day long, which is something which they can't really do for long enough.
Just realized too, Demon's found an opening for a lot of farm. Not as much, like 115 CS. We've only got 3 players who aren't over the 100 mark. But Demons, he's getting closer and closer towards that refresher orb. And once that time hits, it's time for trouble. And well, it looks like EG, they're trying to dual push out the middle and the bottom. But the pressure forces the TPs back. Already Jeyo returns, delay on the timer as well. Juggernaut able to come back. But the tier 2 tower, niggled in the middle lane and the bottom lane, it's down a half-life, but it's okay.
Yeah, NoTide aren't actually, I mean, at this point they're not worried about the split push because there's no real deadline for them to have to win this game. They don't have to go get a set of Raxus now. Their lineup scales well into the late game. The Nature's Prophet, the Sven, the Darkseer as far as team fight goes, they can just go back, farm out these lanes, and the split push is just, oh, thanks for bringing the creeps to us. We'll take those gladly. We'll just take our tier 2 tower, go back and continue to farm. Nature's Prophet can TP back, get some farm up, and TP back to the push. TP back somewhere else, regroup with his team. There's just so many options for NoTide right now, which has all come because of these early game kills. They've just got themselves in a position where EG are the ones who just have to play defensive, a position they're not used to being in. And what do you do if you're EG?
What if you do if you're EG? You pray for the best black hole and mag and ulti of your life, but it means at one point you got to force the engagement. If you're looking for a way out of this one, they can't wait. They cannot wait for that refresher orb to come up on Mag. It's going to take them way too long, and NoTide will get way too far ahead. We'll be looking at a second Roshan by that point, and what do you do up against Megas the Maul? You bring him down, then all of a sudden Sven comes back to life again. No one on EG has anything that can deal with Loda.
EG are sitting in their own base as 5 right now. They're thinking NoTide is smoked up, trying to gank them. NoTide just, no, they're farming their side of the map. They farm out a double stack of Ancients. They're going to go farm out this bottom lane. Maybe they're actually, I think NoTide are so confused. They're like, where are EG on the map? Surely EG are coming to gank us. EG, no, they're scared. They're just sitting back, waiting things out. And this is really EG looking dazzled. They're thinking, what are we trying to do? What can we do? And this is the first time this tournament where EG, they struggled slightly in the group stage, but as soon as they got into the playoff bracket, they've been so convincing. And NoTide saying, well, this is what we can do. This is how we're going to beat you.
I see the decision EG is currently facing. We've got Fear with 4.1k gold on him. And then you look over Demon. He might think he's going to get there, but he's not. But you look over towards the other heroes like Invoker, who is getting closer and closer towards that site device. Are they waiting for the Hex? Are they waiting for a certain item to appear on the Juggernaut, something that will help them deal with the Sven? At this point, not 100% sure, and it looks like Loda is just having a couple of issues on the main stage.
Well, a couple issues with their screens, but we're going to hope everything's all right this game. As far as this game goes, I mean, for EG, it's like you say, they've got to really find those openings, and they're going to have to take some risks to get those. It's going to come from going out before the Magnus refresher is up. They can't wait for that. It's going to take too long. The Sheepstick is an item which can turn things around, and Fear, he needs to spend his gold. He needs to decide what he wants to get and get it now. Maybe we're even looking at something like an Ancestor. The stats just giving him some nice survivability could help out in these team fights.
Well, we're about to see him decide, and it looks like he's going to go down the lines of Butterfly instead. Eagle Song being the first thing he's buying up.
Well, it does give some survivability, does manage to, as far as late game against Sven as well as Nature's Prophet, this will hold him out. And Sven, he hasn't finished off the full Daedalus. He's gone back for an Armlet of Mordigian.
Yeah.
This is going man mode. He is going to be hidden fast, hidden hard, and, well, he's probably going to wait for the crit anyways. No Tidehunter hovering around the middle lane, but they haven't got the Aegis. They're quite happy to just wait for the next Roshan to respawn, claim the Aegis, then look to push when Loda has his completed Daedalus.
And we don't have long, man. We've got like 20 seconds before Roshan's going to be back up and running, and we know how fast he can be killed with Armlet. Just what he's got. Doesn't even need the core strength loader. Just walk him and just destroy him. That is easily doable. And if he has a little bit of help, life is also quite easy. I love this little play that keeps on coming out from S4. He keeps on grabbing that illusion room, throws the Iron Shell up, surge it out, put it in the creep wave, and just use it to farm. He can control it a lot more than he can normal creep field, just surge up. And that's what he's going to love. Of course, EG, they've got to be ready. They've got to know this kind of timing. And this maybe is their big opening. This might be what they're waiting for. BKB's up on Enigma. This could be that moment. But then again, they don't look like they're here for it. In fact, they're not. They're letting it go. They want to find NoTide when they push in.
Yeah, I think they're deciding they just can't contest this. They're going to have to give it up. Loaded with another Aegis in his hands. And now it gets really tricky. EG with only the one mid-tier 2 tower, the only outer tower remaining. And then they're going to be having to fight for their axes, try and keep them alive. And NoTide, they're happy to keep playing this slowly. They've got Nature's Prophet getting close to a sheepstick. All these heroes on the dire side are getting more and more farm going their way. And, well, EG, they've got to play safe. They've really got to hope for some slip-ups coming from NoTide. Hope for a mistake, hope for something that they can punish. And that's something EG are really good at. They're really good at playing patient, waiting for the openings. We've seen it when they're ahead. We've seen it when they're really trying to finish off a game. They're not going to rush things. They're going to take things bit by bit, chip away at the enemy base, and they can do it when they're behind as well.
I'm glad Maelk always there to lend Loader a hand. If ever you are in need, Loader shall give you your answer. Seems like there's a little bit of an issue with the players again, as they've just got a little bit of screen lag coming up, as we might just leave it with the players. Unfortunately, we actually can't see past this wall to see what's going on with those boys. Oh, wait, no, they've got a wonderful screen that tells us everything that's going on. So it does kind of look like there's a little bit of discussion going around the EG players' computers, and there is an admin over there. So they're getting frame rate lag, and they're also getting a little bit of sound lag. So the players coming over, these are actually the same computers that we're using before, just transferred over to the main stage. So,
Wow.
yeah, the admin group, of course, a big thanks as well to all the guys over here at DreamHack. They've been running an amazing competition so far, absolutely flawless. And, like, we've had some problems in the past, like we've seen powers drop, we've seen internet go out, but for this entire competition, there hasn't been a single problem the entire competition until we get on here.
The one problem I've had is we have yet to have a 3-game series. All our quarterfinals, all our semis have gone 2-0. This is it. Sweden's NoTide looking to take this to a 3rd game, though.
Yeah, man, they are looking absolutely amazing. And I still think if anybody says, like, what made them win this game, you can say, well, they got their first blood, and that let them win the tri-lane. They got the first blood, but not only the first blood, they got a dual kill by making EG look like fools. And that's one of those things that Dota, it's a full mental game sometimes. You lose that game. Like, we had Bdiz on here before saying in the interviews, you know what? We're going to take this. 2-0, not a problem at all. We've got this. Swedes, you'll get an early night tonight. Like, get down that party. You're going to be fine. But come out. Overconfidence is a huge, huge weakness. And it was showing. It was showing. They took the... Who would ever have thought to actually use a death on Roshan as bait, making them think you are going Roshan?
And the beauty of it is that because until that game 1, NoTide had been undefeated. They had never been put in a position where they have to pull out these strategies. And it's here in the grand finals. Here when they go down a game, they say, no problem, we'll handle this situation. We have this backup plan. We have something we can use. And it had to be from the dire side as well. They wouldn't be really believable if they're on the Radiant side going for a level 1 jungle. And
Agreed.
Well, with that said, 4FC did go for a level 1 jungle on the Radiant side. We've seen it all here at the DreamHack Winter 2012 Grand Finals, and it's been some amazing games so far. Even if the most of the series have been somewhat one-sided, the groups, Group A and B went as expected, but the other 2 groups didn't. And what we're left with is EG and NoTide. And here in the Grand Finals, game number 2, back in it. Let's get it on, Toby.
Man, I am so getting it on. I'm getting it on just like loaded with cleave crit. And that's basically damaging, man. That's damaging. Let's look towards the mid-tier 2. EG, they won't want to fight this outside the base, and NoTide's going to know this. This is going to be the easiest tier 2 tower of their life right now. EMP, Okay, maybe not so easy, but have a little coffee break, come back down again. Tier 2 tower, Loda just stands there, melee creep's taking out most of it, even the range creep's going to help out. Finally, Loda takes a hit, but the tower's basically gone already.
As far as stalling goes, Invoker going to be a key hero for them.
Now, Fear, wrong place, wrong time, wrong bat. Maybe he can TP out in time. It's a little bit. No, he gets it. There was nothing, and this is the problem for NoTide. They got nothing that goes through BKB.
Yeah.
But they don't care. TP's being used, spins on cooldown for Fear for the moment, and that's like, hey, let's just go in. Force down the tower. Loda holding off on the God Strength. He knows that glyph is there and doesn't want to waste it. There's the glyph. Fall back. Let it go. They've already got Bulldogs level 3 Necro units on the front lines, just tempting someone to kill them off, and as Jeyo is the one that takes it. Takes that big pure damage hit.
Jeyo really needs to just hit Loda with a Tornado EMP. Loda, he's very mana dependent here, just 450 mana. That EMP will drain about 350 of that, and that's a no God Strength. Sure, he can respawn after the Aegis and cast it, but slowing down NoTide push by getting that tornado EMP on him could be crucial. There's Arcane Boots to back NoTide up, coming out on the darks here, but it's something which can slow down the push, force NoTide back, and well, it has been done. They chip away it slowly at this tier 3 tower. They back off, very similar to how EG looked to play that game number 1.
Man, Loda is pimped. Is the only way to describe him.
Is this the Daedalus?
It is the Daedalus. 30 minutes, and you're looking at Armlet, BKB, Mask of Madness, Daedalus, and Strength Treads. The only slot is filled by an Aegis, and what a horrible item to have, you know?
I hear it doesn't do much for you.
Yeah. There's definitely better items in the game. Where's that cheese? You can at least get that for 1,000 gold. And in it flies. I don't want to push in just yet. He's blocking the creep wave just so the courier arrives in time. It's slowing down, but there it goes. Surge him in and crit this wave. Already the first one. Then on towards the tower. He's amplifying his damage, and now we're going to go. Starting off with just the war cry. Can God Strength if he wants to? No, he's actually out of mana now. This is a problem for Loda. As you said, EMP Tornado causing him a lot of issues.
Well, the Arcane Boots coming in. He's got enough for his ultimate, but not a stun as well, so got to play it a bit conservative. And this is, I mean, essentially 30 minutes out. Loda is maxed out on items. There's no real slot he wants to change. Late game, maybe he wants to replace the Mask of Madness with something like a Satanic, but this is it. No Tidehunter want to strike now. They've got this real peak as far as their heroes go, and they want to be ready to take it to EG, try seal the deal soon, especially while they have this Aegis.
They're going to take it even sooner. Looking at Demon's Farm right now, if that Refresher Orb gets up, we've got a double lockdown. We saw Sven just then. He is definitely susceptible to damage. He went down to half of his life just trying to push out that tower. Came back out, Maelk charges, he's coming back up again. But if that double reverse polarity kicks in before they get a Rax, before they're able to really control this map and let Nature's Prophet just win on map control, then Zenith could, wow, thanks Loda. No Tidehunter could find themselves losing this game to EG. Here we're going to go. There's EMP Tornado going again. Is he going to pop his ability? No, he doesn't. Out of mana. Deafening Blast pushing them back. S4 too far up. Getting Magic Missile stunned up, and there goes Demon. Pulling back in again. Neck Charge Surge. Back S4. Slippery little nipple getting him off that bottom lane.
Whoosh. Slips through EG. Gets out of there. No Tidehunter. That's big for them. Getting out of there, not losing hero. They learned their lesson. They see what EG are capable of and how this game is far from being in the bag for them. It's going to come down to, well, Sven is maxed out. Hey, let's get AdmiralBulldog back farming. He TP's top. Let's take it late game. Let's get that sheep stick up. Let's get that damage on him. Maybe even play a more 4-1 split start game. They've been grouping up as 5 at bottom. How do EG defend if they send 4 bottom with Nature's Prophet Bulldog pressuring the top lane? That's going to sort of add a new dimension to this No Tidehunter hero lineup, and something that's going to be a bit of a struggle for EG to defend against.
It could mean the death of AdmiralBulldog, really, because then you just have Demon jump up there with a Blink Dagger, and now with... oh, yeah, you knew this was coming. You knew this was coming. Oh. It was so going to come. And,
it's time.
They're even checking to make sure that no one's going to be looking for them, but they don't want to leave their base. They think No Tidehunter is still here, which they are. They're knocking on the door. Nature's Prophet comes back in again, and this is going to be one hell of a fight if Loda goes down. Already set up EMP. He doesn't care. He's just bringing down the tower. He almost wants to die with this Aegis, and then he'll come back with a BKB, starting with the damage. There goes that little bit. Oh, look at the damage of Fear! The cleave out to Maelk as well. They still haven't killed up Loda. The BKB will pop, but it's only getting Loda. AdmiralBulldog decides to walk into it to make Maelk feel better, but back in. The wall is up, and that is one big reverse polarity. 4 caught in, skewer them out. But a big crit! Destruction and shows! And this is going to be Maelk, everyone. EG should be dying or at least losing this bottom Rax. Maybe EG can scramble some kind of defense. Jeyo to the front lines. That's a lot of damage to Envy. He doesn't want to stick around here. Four stomping Maelk. He's in too close now, fighting up against himself. Back in again. And it's S4. He wants the fun. Maybe on a Bdiz. Sven's done. They bring him down. AdmiralBulldog claims it. Melee Rats goes down. Wonderful disruption here. It's going to mean that EternalLenvy gets himself out, and they don't lose a single hero. They lose the Aegis, but it's going to be reclaimed in 1 minute anyway.
Well, they're going to be pretty pleased with themselves. Their Demon did not have mana for the second reverse polarity, caught 3 big heroes. He even popped the refresher. The skewer meant he had no mana left. He wanted to skewer them to his tower before he casted the second reverse polarity. If he had 50 more mana, different team fight, different result there. No Tidehunter come out on top, buyback from the Nature's Prophet to ensure it all. And in the end, it's just Loda's cleaving Sven and doing too much damage. He's already up to 4k gold now, and you've got to wonder, maybe he picks up something like a heart here and leaves the Aegis to one of his teammates. Give the Aegis to someone like the Darkseer so he can be a bit more aggressive as well.
I would agree, man, because at this point, Loda, he's got the choice. Does he take that Aegis, or does he actually sacrifice another item? That's his choice. He's got 4.2k, so he's wanting to get another item. 100%. Let's just go double Daedalus just for the fun of it.
Something we have seen on Funix Clink.
Yeah.
Quadruple Daedalus, in fact.
Mm-hmm. And would you believe it hurt? Just a little bit.
Yeah, well,
only a little bit.
This is one way of you can deal with this, Sven, especially as the game goes later. BKB down to 8 seconds. Jeyo has just about finished off his sheep stick, couple hundred gold away from that. And then you've got some lockdown. Then you've got a way of picking off Sven, especially when he's on the front line hitting those towers. You can sheep him before he casts the BKB, or you can just look to back off and wait for the BKB to wear off, then come out with the sheep, focus fire him down.
Look at this mindset from Jeyo. When you see a hero like this, we can see the map and see exactly who the hell is where. But when somebody goes invis to walk in just their secret shop, fearing the fact it's going to be picked off, that's a horrible mindset for your entire team to be in. Your bottom lane's being pushed. Nature's Prophet, one of the best, if not the best split pusher next to Tinker in the game of Dota 2. He is going to be controlling this game non-stop, controlling the heroes non-stop. Sacrifice for him. The Necro book's already up. He may as well just buy a Vladimir's offering for his entire team while he's at it. And oh man, if you want a bunker breaker, you might be finding one at the moment.
Top though. EG are looking for Nature's Prophet. They really want to find Bulldog. Bulldog in the neutrals here. He may catch onto this because there's not many heroes defending bottom.
Maelk. Oh, he's going to go down. He's going to go down. No crit, doesn't even need it.
Top lane, it's going to be AdmiralBulldog getting picked off here. He's trying to TP out. Oh, just gets hit by a last Juggernaut swing, and Nature's Prophet has no buyback.
Yeah, this is the problem, though. Back inside the base, EternalLenvy already looking for a couple of heroes. They pop the pipe and start to retreat out of it. And Loda says, why retreat, boys? For the arch, get yourself in. We want this mid-tower, if possible. Pipe goes on cooldown, but he gets stunned up a little bit. Cold snap there, opens up. There's already Mag jumping in. Now pulls him back out. 2 are there. Disruption, buys some time. Darkseer, perfect wall, and again another skewer using that refresher orb. Then lets up the stun, and Mag is going to beat himself to death, but pops to the smoke. Avoids. Smart play from Demon. And it means only Enigma goes down, and EG pick up the Leshrac from that.
Well, they pick off 2. That was without the Enigma. 4v5 fight. Sven with the God Strength, the BQ at the front lines. EG, defend, no problem. Demon with some amazing play on the Mag. Skewers him back in after reverse polarity. Reverse polarities again, skewers him even further back. Sets him up perfectly. Pretty much splitting up the team fight, giving Fear a chance to clean up with that ultimate. Fear is now level 16 with a butterfly. That's going to be a lot of extra hits in between those Omni-slash hits, and he does huge damage if he can find heroes out in the open, and that he did with the Leshrac, with the Nature's Prophet.
Don't you just love that one $450 item which lets him do that? The Robe of Magi. One small early game item, but it gives you just that little bit extra to get over the hill.
Oh boy, and that can be the world of difference. That's going to be EG winning and losing that fight, and for EG, that'll give them a bit of boosted confidence. Sure, they're getting further and further behind as far as XP and gold goes, but one team fight can turn that around. And when you've got a Mag and an Enigma, boy, can it be easy to win a team fight.
Let's hit the first Sunstrike of the game, go randomly out in the map. He's got 4 points in Exhaust. That's actually a decent amount of damage. I've
Well,
been hoping to snipe off somebody.
we asked what was coming for Loda. It's the Assault Grace. Sell the Mask of Madness, get an Assault Caress, and then he can still carry the Aegis, which is just going to be coming the way of no Tidehunter. Not to mention Cheese this time.
But
Something they
EG,
can give to someone like Prophet or Darkseer.
they're not going to let this one go without a fight. They've let the last two go. And Loda, man, the
They're too
timing.
late.
You're right, they are too late. Loda gets the Aegis, the Immortal. Cheese is still on the deck right now. Someone can come in and pick that one up. If they do so, it's going to be Akke. So congratulations, you're the proud owner of a piece of cheese. And Loda running as fast as he can. Warcry and Surge, and maybe Bdiz, next level TP. Just around a little nook and cranny.
Oh, he finds a way out of this, and well, no Titan, they're ready to go again down the middle lane. They need to get this creep wave back, and that's something, well, Nature's Prophet can handle, of course. He's got the ultimate, he can TP back in there, but no Titan are happy to play this slow and safe. They've got the one set of Raxes, they've got the lineup which can scale with a late game as long as they avoid the team fight disaster that is EG with the BKB Black Hole, with the Mag double ultimate. As long as they can avoid that, it's smooth sailing, but avoiding that, that's the tough part.
Well, avoiding it, maybe it's just trying to live through it. Even if you get caught by it, you got the Assault Cuirass to help you out.
Yeah.
And by the looks of it, that Shiva Scar's not going to be too far away from S4. And once that's up, you're going to combine that kind of effect going onto EG, and they're combining up with a pipe they've already got, the lane control they've already got as well. This is just a game of the right plays to be made by no Tidehunter. It is their game to lose when you already control one Rax and you have Nature's Prophet. It's their game to lose. Darkseer could be there. Sven's got more crit than God right now. And, well, if he wants to make the most of it, if he really wants to force it, he's got to be able to do it. And that's Loda going in within the next 5 minutes. And that's before the Roshan reclaims that Aegis of the Immortal. And then he loses that respawn, the double Loda.
Taking him down once is hard enough. Taking him down the second time, well, now you're begging the question, how do you actually do that? And, I mean, they haven't got the damage to do that. They can kill him once maybe, but killing him twice is going to be a big, big ask. They've really just got to chip away at him. If he's in the front lines working away on the tower, they have to just harass him as much as possible without fully engaging. Then look for those big reverse pillars. They have to hit the back lines. They can't just be looking to hit Loda on the front lines on that Sven. They need to hit more than one, and they have to be able to probably get a Blink Dagger and Enigma soon. The BKB is there, but Maelk isn't really finding the positioning for these black holes until there's a BKB up.
Man, look at this time. There's just two grouping up. All they want to do is put Loda on the front. They're trying to bait out Demon to do exactly this. Pick him up, throw him back. Already Loda. Force staff back out again. And Juggernaut lets the oldie fly. And he's trying to bring down the Shadow Demon. Disruption there, but Loda, it's the Aegis, the Immortal. We've already used a large portion of the mana. Maybe the burn on EternalLenvy from the Meteorite. Not enough. 79 HP he'll get to live on. And Loda mans up. VS swaps him out. Bdiz just destroyed. Not quite. Big black hole. It's got the main man. Loda needs to go down. They even got pulled back into it. Shiva's guard will pop. Loda's still alive. And then the crit. Double kill.
He's been past the cheese as well. Akke passes him the cheese. Loda heals himself up. Great teamwork. Keeps Loda alive. What a play from no Tidehunter. They get more kills. They take out the Enigma of Maelk. It's only now Fear and Jeyo alive. They're going to watch their base get disintegrated.
You've got to call it, man. That was insane play to pass Cheese during that fight, realizing Loda was going down after that had already happened, and Loda wants round two. He goes Jeyo. Shiva's got ultra kill.
Whoa.
Caught out too far, and this is going to be us going into a game number 3. The Swedes, no Tidehunter, GG called out by Demon, and this is going to be Sweden. Game number 3.
Can they do it? Game 3 coming up.
GG